Hi, everybody. I'm Patrice Karst, and I am the author of The Invisible String, and a lot of other books too. But The Invisible String is the story that I want to read to you today. How did I end up writing this story? Well, about 23 or 4 years ago, my son was, Elijah is his name, and he was in kindergarten. And I was a working mom, a single working mom. And when I would bring him to school in the mornings, he would get really bad separation anxiety, and he would cry, and he missed me so much, and I missed him so much, and I didn't know what we were going to do about this situation. So one morning, I just told him what was obvious to me, and that was that we were connected all day long by an invisible string. And that when he missed me, all he needed to do was tug on the string, and I would feel it in my heart. I'm wearing my heart shirt today. There you go. And then I would feel it in my heart, and I would tug it back, and he would feel it in his heart. And I'm telling you that the minute he got that concept of an invisible string that connected us all day long, his separation anxiety went away. And then all his little friends wanted to know about the invisible string. And they were like, "Miss Karst, is there really an invisible string?" And I was like, "Of course there is." And I realized I had something very, very special, a tangible explanation of the very abstract concept for children of what connection is, what love is. And this metaphor of an invisible string somehow just showed the children and my son about love and connection in such an easy way. So I knew I had something very special. And I wrote it up as a children's story, and I went to a small publisher that I knew and asked if he would like to publish this story, and he did. So the book, the original, came out in the year 2000, and I would have been thrilled if it had sold 500 copies, quite honestly. I just knew that it was a special story, and if it even helped just one child to feel less alone and less sad, then I would be thrilled. But that's not what happened. The Invisible String turned into a worldwide phenomena. It has now sold, I think we're getting close to 2 million copies, and it's been translated into 18 different languages, and it has become the #1 book for children, not only for separation anxiety, but for losses and grief of all kinds. It is used in hospitals and hospices and therapy groups and grief camps and social workers and therapists and schools and the foster and adoption groups and the military, the prison system. The Invisible String has basically just gone global because the message is so simple. The message of love. So I'm going to read my story to you in a minute, but I just also wanted to show you the other books that I have written so you'll know. And then I'll read to you, and it'll be my honor to do that. So after The Invisible String was written, I had a wonderful therapist, Dr. Dana Weiss, reach out to me, and we decided to create the Invisible String Workbook, which then takes the message of the invisible string to the next level with all kinds of amazing activities. And then I had a lot of people asking me if we could do a book for really, really small children, for babies and toddlers. So we created You Are Never Alone. And it's an invisible string lullaby, and it's for the littlest of the littles. And then I decided I wanted to write a book about what the world would be like when we all realized that all of our invisible strings connected. We live in a giant web of love. So that's the invisible web. And I have a lot of people write to me about when their animals pass away and go to the beyond. And they asked me if I could write a book that would be specifically for the loss of our animals. And so that's The Invisible Leash. And The Invisible Leash has become one of the number one books for children dealing with pet loss and grief. I'm going to read The Invisible String to you, and what I will share with you before I start reading is that I get letters from all over the world from people that are dealing with grief in one way or the other. A loved one has died, a friend has died, someone within the family has passed away, someone's in the process of dying, and people write to me, not just in the grief world. I get books from literally all over the world from people just telling me how much they love this book for just helping kids realize they're connected to everyone they love, and for birthdays and moving away and graduations. A lot of adults buy the book too. But I do get some very profound letters from people that are grieving, and somehow this book that I never even wrote for the process of grief, I wrote it for my son because he was missing me at school all day, has become a touchstone in the grief world, and I'm so, so proud of it, because The Invisible String is real. It's not just a children's story. I just happened to write it as a children's story so that I could get the message out there. So I'd like to read to you now. So get cozy, and let's listen to the story of The Invisible String. And the book is dedicated to the children of the world and the magic of their strings. Liza and Jeremy, the twins, were asleep one calm and quiet night. Suddenly it began to rain very hard. Thunder rumbled until it got so loud that it woke them up. "Mommy, Mommy," they cried out as they ran to her. "Don't worry, you two. It's just the storm making all that noise. Go back to bed." "But we want to stay close to you," said Jeremy. "We're scared." Mom said, "You know, we're always together, no matter what." "But how can we be together when you're out here and we're in bed?" said Liza. Mom held something right in front of them and said, "This is how." Rubbing their sleepy eyes, the twins came closer to see what Mom was holding. "I was about your age when my mommy first told me about the invisible string." "I don't see a string," said Jeremy. "Well, you don't need to see the invisible string. People who love each other are always connected by a very special string made of love." "But if you can't see it, how do you know it's there?" asked Liza. "Well, even though you can't see it with your eyes, you can feel it with your heart and know that you are always connected to everyone you love. When you're at school and you miss me, your love travels all the way along the string until I feel it tug on my heart. And when you tug it right back, we feel it in our hearts," said Jeremy. "Does Jasper the cat have an invisible string?" Liza asked. "She sure does," said Mom. "And best friends like me and Lucy?" asked Liza. "Best friends, too." "Well, how far can the string reach?" "Anywhere and everywhere," Mom said. "Would it reach me even if I were a submarine captain deep in the ocean?" asked Jeremy. "Yes," Mom said, "even there." "Or a mountain climber?" "Even there." "A dancer in France?" "Even there." "A jungle explorer?" "Even there." "How about an astronaut out in space?" "Yes, even there." Then Jeremy quietly asked, "Can my string reach all the way to Uncle Brian in heaven?" "Yes, even there." "Does the string go away when you're mad at us?" "Never," said Mom. "Love is stronger than anger, and as long as love is in your heart, the string will always be there." Even when you get older and can't agree about things like what movie to see, or what game to play in the back seat, or what time to go to bed. "Oh, that's right! You two should be in bed." And with that, they all laughed as Mom chased the twins back to their beds. Within a few minutes, they were asleep, even though the storm was still making the same loud noises outside. As they slept, they started dreaming of all the invisible strings they have, and all the strings their friends have, and their friends have, and their friends have, until everyone in the world was connected by invisible strings. And from deep inside, they now could clearly see no one is ever alone. And that's the invisible string. And I hope that you like my story. And I hope that you know that the invisible string is real. And I hope that you will always remember that, and that you'll share with everyone you know about the invisible string, and that we're always connected. And I love you so much. And now, because I've read my story to you, we have our own invisible string connecting us. So with that, I'll say goodbye and give you a big kiss, mwah, and a big hug. And take really good care of yourself, and take really good care of each other, because we really do live in an invisible web, and we're all connected by love.